From the Washington Post. The skate park was thriving. Then a right-wing YouTuber bought it. Tim Pool's purchase of an improvised skate park has riled skateboarders in West Virginia's eastern panhandle. No, it hasn't. This is such a fake story. Will Summer. Everybody knows Will. He used to write for the Daily Beast, I believe. He's not known for his honesty, but I will tell you this. As the news now circles on me and the Washington Post seeks to expand a story with some a stock photo of a guy skating somewhere, Will reached out to me and asked me for a quote on the Martinsburg skate park project. I will stop before getting into the story to give you a very simple context. The simple context is I am accused of buying a skate park from a bunch of woke skateboarders who are angry and scared, claiming I will ban LGBTQ people. And they said that I bought the skate park from them because they wouldn't let me skate there. So the implication being that after I tried to skate there and they kicked me out, I went, oh yeah, and then bought it. And I got all these people on the right being like, the ultimate Chad move, Tim. Wow. He's flexing. And then they're going, he's flexing on us. Here's the real story. We live in Berkeley County. Martinsburg is our nearest city, like actual city. We own one of the largest buildings in downtown Martinsburg where we're building a coffee shop. We hung out there playing Magic the Gathering two days ago? Or was it yesterday? 2 days ago, I was hanging out at Mamba Collectibles, shout out, playing Magic the Gathering because we live here. 2 blocks away is a property that I bought because we want to build a skate park in the city. Well, these people have made it infinitely impossible to do. The reality is the locals who skate there have asked me for help, for which I've given them money and they fixed things. The people who skate there regularly give me fist bumps. I was just skating there this weekend. I normally don't film a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, especially when I'm just chilling. And I skated Martinsburg and Hagerstown. The skate park was not thriving. It was falling apart. Nobody was skating there. Our employees live in the town. We have friends who live in the town. And we have friends who live in Berkeley County who skate at the Martinsburg DIY. The ground is not so good. The concrete is falling apart. The ramps are makeshift and they're pretty hard to skate. The people who pull off those tricks on those obstacles, man, they got skills because it's hard to skate that stuff because it's DIY. So, as we're seeking to improve the city in which we live and operate, and our friends and family live and operate, I said, I want a skate park here. We wanted this property because it's got a skate park on it and a freestanding building. I want to open a skate shop. I've been talking about opening a skate shop for a long time. We said we wanted to open a skate shop on the second floor of the building. We're putting the coffee shop, but it's really difficult because the side door has stairs and you require disability access. So we would need a functioning elevator. And I'm like, we can't put a skate shop here. It's really hard. Maybe we'll put a display case with some things for some people, but it'll be a private thing. And so we're like, we need somewhere else. I know. What if we bought a property that already had a skate park on it that was at risk of being sold, was falling apart, that nobody was even skating it anymore. Barely anybody ever showed up. And once they built the Hagerstown Park in Maryland, nobody shows up. And so I said, okay, let's get this. It's got a building on it. We're not going to screw with the tenants. They can stay as long as they want, but it's a church and they're great people. They're really nice. When they do leave and they're planning on leaving, we can put our skate shop there and there's some skate stuff. Then we can put up some ramps. What happened? The only people who got mad were leftists. Now they're going to act like they're not leftists because to them, this is the cult. They think they're the middle of the road people. But these are the ones that put the Progress Pride flag in their windows. These are the ones that were posting on social media saying, don't let Tim Pool skate in Washington, D.C. because he's a white supremacist. And it's like 3 people. Surprisingly, they got 1 guy, I think, for this article. So when we buy this and they claim that Tim Pool stole it, blah, 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 I'll tell you. A year ago, me living in Berkeley County and having our studio set up here and having our building there, a flyer was released saying Martinsburg Skate Jam. That's it. At the spot. Nothing else. No organizing body, no organizing committee. No one's in charge. It's a DIY, do it yourself. And being here, I said, let's make it big. 2 guys got mad. They threatened me with physical violence if I tried to show up. It is for that reason I said, then no, I offered $20,000. And for that, I was like, okay, we won't do it. We won't do it. We wanted to build a skate park. We were in the process of buying this. We went through a couple different agents to try and figure it out. Eventually, we found the owners. One of the guys that was mad at us actually harassed us as we were trying to buy a nearby lot to improve, pave over, and create a plaza. There you go, city of Martinsburg. But I don't blame the city that they've got this derelict element. And these people don't even skate there. In Hagerstown, Maryland, a park opened up, 2 years ago or something. And when it did, everyone stopped skating the Martinsburg DIY, and it's crumbling. The locals that are there asked me for help. I gave them money. I was just there skating with one of the guys the other day. He's a cool dude. They've been fixing it up. Now it's become national news. So here's the national news from the Washington Post. And I'll debunk the lies, but it's not a bad article. It's just weird that they frame it this way. The skate park was thriving. Then a right-wing YouTuber bought it. From Will Summer. Martinsburg, West Virginia. For 10 years, skateboarders in Martinsburg ollied and tray flipped in peace on an empty concrete slab hidden behind trees on an embankment near a busy highway. After the closure of a city-run skate park in 2013, the skaters used wood and cinder blocks to build their own ramps and jumps, with permission from the property's owner. Indeed, it is true. Oh, it's not a slab, though. The property is acreage attached to a freestanding building. One of the lies they keep saying is that it's an empty lot. No, the property I bought is a building. I bought a building to put a skate shop in. It just so happens that it's got a lot of concrete attached to it. A skateboard nailed to a tree, graffiti of grimacing monsters, and numerous empty energy drink cans point to a place that was wholly the skaters in spirit, though not legally. Quote, "It takes a lot of work and effort to maintain your own space," said Chase Amos, a skater who frequented the skate park. "There's camaraderie around it." Then Tim Pool, a deep-pocketed right-wing video sensation, got in a dispute with the skaters and bought the land the skate park sits on. Skateboarding in Martinsburg has never been the same. In fact, literally nothing's changed. This was a year ago. No one said anything. All we did was pay for patching and for fixing some of the stuff. That was it. We've been working with the people who own the building. We've been working to maintain the property as any proper landlord would. And now it's in the news in the Washington Post. Pool's purchase of the improvised skate park has riled skateboarders in West Virginia's Eastern Panhandle and sparked a debate about both how much politics and how much of Pool's money belongs in skateboarding. Pool downplayed the controversy in an email to the Washington Post. Quote, "The issue seems to be solely with a few people who don't like me personally." Pool wrote, pointing to some repairs he's made to the concrete since the purchase. He claims most of his detractors live outside of town. Claims? I asked him to look into that because I said, I don't think these guys live here. One of the guys I think lives in Maryland. And so that's your job, Will. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said. I think I responded I think I said something like, I'm pretty sure they don't live here. For critics of Pool, hold on. Which critics? So far, you interviewed one guy. One guy who the last time I saw him, he was skating in Hagerstown, Maryland, some 50 miles away. Or that's like 30 miles away. For critics of Pool, a former Vice reporter who rose to prominence during the Occupy Wall Street movement, the skate park purchase represents just the latest heel turn. What do you mean heel turn? I've been skating my entire life. Pool is now a pro-Trump YouTuber with a combined 4.4 million subscribers spread across 3 channels on the site. And don't forget my 2 million on X. Perhaps best known for his lengthy YouTube show, blah, blah, blah. It says typically joined by controversial conservative internet personalities such as Laura Loomer. She's been on the show twice. Pool's show has featured white nationalist leaders who, once, I see, and a chaotic interview with Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. Even among pro-Trump commentators, Pool stands out for his heated rhetoric, often claiming the United States is on the verge of a second civil war. Indeed. On July 25th, Pool tweeted that Vice President Kamala Harris is Hitler and Stalin combined, but times 200. The man does not know comedy or satire or insults. When he isn't hobnobbing with internet extremists, Pool rides his skateboard a lot. He has made a skater-esque beanie into his trademark fashion choice, even wearing it to formal locations such as the Trump White House and Mar-a-Lago. He has built skate ramps at a Maryland compound he's dubbed the Skate Mansion. No, I didn't. It's called the Cast Castle. Come on, dude. Google search. It's your friend. But you can't blame the internet for being Will for being right when he has access to the internet. Pool's clashes with the Martinsburg skate park began in August 2023 when its organizers announced plans for a party to celebrate the park's 10th year anniversary. Pool, without consulting the organizers of the Martinsburg event, announced on Instagram he would offer $20,000. It was actually an X. And then I screenshotted the X post and put it on Instagram. $20,000 in prize money for the event. Loath to associate with Pool's politics, some skaters posted on Instagram that Pool wasn't invited to the event and would be removed if he showed up. Now let's pause right there. Thank you, Will Summer. Thank you for highlighting exactly what we've been talking about. Loath to be associated with my politics. They are left-wing individuals. They had criticized and attacked us before. I was skating at Freedom Plaza in Washington, D.C. when people started posting online, attacking us, And it's many of these same guys from the same place in the same shop. It was one woman who's not associated with Martinsburg posted online that I was a white supremacist. Now hold on there a minute. I live here. 10 minutes is how long it takes me to drive to the DIY spot. So I don't live in Martinsburg proper, but it's a small city, town, and most people are living in and around it. Fair to say, I don't live in Martinsburg, but I do live in Berkeley County, and that's why I've talked with Berkeley County about the skate park they're planning to build, and they want to build it in Martinsburg. So Martinsburg is our closest big city. 20 or so minutes away is Charlestown, and then 20 to 30 minutes is Shepherdstown. But for us, our closest town is, of course, Martinsburg. That's why we're building there. That's why we own property there. They didn't want to be associated with my politics. But what did they post? It was political. One guy said that he was scared I would ban LGBTQ people. I never said I'd ban anybody. He points out in the article I didn't, but this is the important thing. The quote, "It wasn't like we were leftist or anything. We didn't want to be associated with that hateful stuff." What hateful stuff? They're leftists, pretending they're not. And this is exactly the issue. Right now in the skateboard industry, there's a lot of complaints from people about how leftist politics have wholly invaded skateboarding. Now, leftists don't think they're political. It's just like I Am Legend. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Politics is everything. What are we going to do? We are creating a neutralizing force in skateboarding, in the culture war, that will expand this and make it open to everyone, not just leftists who want to push people out. Let me stress this again. It's not like we're leftists. We don't want to be associated with the hateful stuff. So they told me I wasn't welcome to come to a property they didn't own in a town where my employees work and live, where I own property and I'm building, and in a county this is the county skate park. I'm not allowed to come to where I live to skate because they didn't want to be around my politics. Okay. That means they're opposing my politics, right? Simple enough. For political reasons, they threatened me with violence. They said they said they were scared I'd ban LGBTQIA people. I would be physically removed if I tried to go anywhere near it. And the funny thing is, we were already trying to buy it. Now, there was one apt comment from someone who said, perhaps Tim wanted to give $20,000 because he was planning on doing a big announcement about how he was going to be building a skate park. And like, very astute. I wouldn't call that as formal as that we wanted to buy the park and we were looking at property. And you need only ask the gentleman who referred to himself as the sheriff, Will Summer could have interviewed, who walked up to me as I was trying to buy a nearby lot in early August, screaming in my face. He was there when I was trying to buy property. They know that not only do we own property, we have an agent seeking to buy property, and we skateboard and wanted to build a skate park. So yeah, our intention was we want to build a skate park. The DIY is very difficult to skate. It's got fun stuff, but it's basically just a hangout shrouded in trees where people can mind their own business. The real property is the freestanding building. Here's what they say. Amid opposition from the skaters, Poole dropped his plans to offer the prize. But a few months later, in November 2023, false. We had bought it in August. We had been in the process for a while. The owner listed on the property was nowhere to be found, and the contact information didn't work. We had to cycle through different agents to actually find this person, and they found them by going to a house associated. Long story short, I don't want to drag them into it because they're not involved. He quietly bought the skate park's land, purchasing the slab and a nearby building through a limited liability company for $850,000. Right. But to say I bought the slab and a nearby building is kind of silly. It's a building on like if you bought a house, would you say he bought the backyard and the house? No, you'd say he bought the property. They don't own the spot, Poole later said in his show in July 2024. By what right do they have to tell me I can't stand on a derelict piece of property where they're squatting? More importantly, to threaten me with physical force, which is illegal, because they don't want me skating in the town in the county where I live and the town where my friends and family live and work. Poole has floated in the land to build a much larger skate park, but he made few immediate changes to the property, and he hasn't banned anyone from skating there. That's right. Because nothing but the ownership had changed, skaters realized only belatedly that he even bought the land. And only because we hired more people and invited many of the locals to skate here at the Freedomistan private skate, the Boonies. Still, tensions over Poole's purchase spilled into public view late in June when Instagram accounts associated with skaters who used the skate park before Poole's purchase complained about the purchase. You may be able to buy out our land, but you cannot buy out our scene. What scene? Literally no one is skating there. All right. Here's a clip. And I don't mean to drag anybody into anything, but I was skating there and I'm like, when I skate here, we just chill. We hang out on the weekends. We relax. Here's the homie Michael, who I've been talking to for a few months. This is the first time I ever actually met him. The other times I've been here, he wasn't here. He's doing what's called a slappy crook. And I was skating and I was like, hey, you think you could, I saw him doing it and I was like, you think you get that first try? Or you could land it? He's like, I don't think I'll land it. And then he did. I filmed him doing it. And the reason why is I'm like, maybe I should just be posting these things. You can't buy our scene. There is no scene, dude. The park was abandoned. Nobody was skating there. Hagerstown. Here's Hagerstown. Here's me skate. It's kind of hard to see. It's super small. Here's me doing a kickflip in Hagerstown over the little Atlas stone. It's a little kickflip. Maybe it's easier to see if can I make it bigger? I don't know if I can. Here's me doing a nollie hard flip at Hagerstown, which is a Spawn Ranch skate park. And nollie hard flips are good tricks. It's the hardest trick in the world. And I filmed some stuff at Hagerstown. There you go. There's me doing a nollie hard flip. When that park opened, Martinsburg was done. Nobody was there anymore. I want a skate park there. And here's the best part. With me having input in this, we're going to make an awesome skate park with the best obstacles, and we're going to avoid any kind of construction mistakes that people often make. When they don't skate, they don't understand, they try to do weird things, you get a weird skate park. So I love to be involved. More importantly, the skate park's not going to happen because nobody wants to give money. So I told Berkeley County $100,000 right now. Commitment. You tell me where to send the check. And they said, hold off until we can secure the land. The operator of the Instagram account associated with the skate park's original organizers reposted this message critical of Pool. The skate park's former organizers declined an interview with the Post, saying in a message that they rejected Pool's contest money because they want to be left alone and have a safe place to burn off some energy after work. So I guess that's why they've been going to Hagerstown instead of the DIY. That's why. We didn't want a billion people showing up at our small town DIY looking for a $20K payday. We are not in wheel sports for a paycheck. So it is a sport, you think, right? Well, I got news for you, buddy. You don't own skateboarding. You don't own Martinsburg. Your politics can't push out anyone's other politics. I did not tell them because they were woke or leftist or anything like that they weren't allowed to skate. Never happened. I said, hey, I'm going to build a skate park and give people money. And they said, we don't want you and your politics here. They outright said it's in the article. Thank you. Thank you, Will, for pointing that out and proving it definitively. That Chase said outright, we don't want to be associated with his politics. Because they don't seem to have a problem with Embark Skate Shop. Embark Skate Shop, who, no beef, but they fly pride flags at their shop. You want to be associated with those politics? You got Embark stickers on there. You invited Embark. But me, I show up with no politics and cash, and you say no. It is the culture war, ladies and gentlemen. And no, we won't back down. So what have we offered so far? Nothing political. I've put no Trump stickers anywhere. We've put no political stickers anywhere. We have the Gadsden flag. And so this is the neutralizing force. I never said don't put Embark stickers anywhere. I never said don't fly the Pride Progress flag. We'll just fly our Gadsden flag, and that's the neutralizing force. We exist too. But they said it. We're not in it for a paycheck. No, you're not. But guess what? I live here, and I skate here too. And I've been here for 4 years, and I'm gonna stay here too. So you say we've been here for 10. Fair point. I moved here. But when the skate park gets abandoned, nobody's really skating there. It's falling apart. There's garbage. There's needles and other trash and stuff. So they claim. We're going to clean it up. We're going to fix things because we want to make things better. But these guys have only done everything in their power to make sure the city can't build a skate park, sabotaging the work we're trying to do. We built a $100,000 mini ramp. And I'm like, it's too bad we couldn't put it on the property we bought because the locals told me, our friends, be careful, man. These guys have already shown up and smashed things to destroy it. And if you put wood, they will burn it to the ground. And I'm like, well, then what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to build a skate park when these far left wingnuts are going to burn things down? Oh, I called them far left. But we're not leftists. Let me put it this way. I call you default libs, whatever you want to be called. Your friends at the skate shop flying the Pride Progress flag, not the Pride flag, the Pride Progress flag, okay, which is an overt political symbol. I don't fly any flags. We don't have a Gadsden flag here. We're talking about putting up a flag of Roberto Jr. the Rooster. But we're not flying any flags. None of the videos we've put out on the Boonies have been anything political. It's neutral. And they say, we don't want you here. Understand the game they're playing. They want their politics to be default. So they say, we're not leftists. We don't want his politics. But the politics the Boonies has brought has been neutral. This is the game they play to win the culture war, and we'll play it all the same. On his YouTube show, Poole has cast the decision to purchase the park alternatively as just savvy business decision and a jab at the woke elements who sought to keep him out. No, I didn't. That's an exaggeration. We wanted to build a skate park. If we want to build a skate park, we have to make sure that we are going through all these legal channels. The city has already granted permission for this property to have a skate park. Done. There's a building there. The owners say they're planning on moving out to a newer location. Skate shop. Done. It's a great building, by the way. Poole claims his critics have tried to cast him as a comic book villain when his only claims they literally wrote that I was. When his only crime was offering tens of thousands of dollars to improve a sport he loves. I tried to give them $20,000 for nothing, and they got mad. But Poole has also described the purchase as a win for the right, saying it was part of a real-world effort to win a culture war. And I will say that again. Thank you, Will Sommer, for pointing out for political reasons they threatened me with violence to remove me from the spot. We don't want his politics here. Okay? There's political stuff they've written at the skate park. They invited Embark Skate Shop with a pride flag in their window to come to that spot. So when two choices are made, the politics of Tim Poole and the politics of the left, they said, politics of the left, you are welcome. Politics of the right, you are not. Thank you. Poole also used his platform to push back on other charges from what he called woke leftist foes, that he isn't even good at skateboarding. Wait, what? Yeah. To prove it in a July show, Poole showed his audience several recent videos of him putting off difficult tricks. Sure. It was a switch 360 flip. It's a first try trick for me. I do it relatively easily, Poole said, analyzing one of the clips skating. But these are the lies they push because they're trying to say I can't do anything. Indeed, they are. The narrative they're trying to run with. Actually, I can show you one right here. I love it. Evan Jones says, Tim orders his boards online and selects the apply grip tape for me option. Indeed. That's a Tactics skateboard board I ordered to downsize from an 8.5 custom board, which we apply the grip to ourselves, to an 8-inch board for the purpose of flip tricks. So the fastest way to get this done, as we're currently ordering the Boonies boards, is we got a bunch of 8.5s ordered, 8.5-inch boards. And I was talking to a couple of the pros that skate here, some of our friends. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if I go down in size to an 8-inch board, I'll be able to land more flip tricks. Because when I was skating a long time ago, I used smaller size boards. And when I started skating stairs and rails in Los Angeles, I upgraded because you're more airtime, easier to catch. And I'm like, now that I'm getting older and I'm not going to be doing any of that bigger stuff, I should probably go back to an 8. So I overnighted an 8-inch board pre-set up. Yep. The game they try to play is Tim Poole's not a skateboarder. He doesn't know anything about skateboarding. He's not a part of this community. So I'll give a shout out to our good friend Gifted Hater, who put up a video titled Tim Poole Doesn't Understand Skateboarding, something to that effect. Go watch it. This guy's a goon. They call him Weasel. Let me tell you, buddy, I'm older than you. I've been skating longer than you. In fact, I've been skating longer than you could walk. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to skateboard. Doesn't mean you're bad at skateboarding. Skateboarding's for everybody. You're allowed to. But let me tell you who doesn't understand skateboarding. The answer is you. The reality is this. For every generation and every iteration of human development, cultures change. And so what is skateboarding? What is anything? What is politics? What does it mean to be a Republican or Democrat? Evolves with the latest generation that enters into the fray. So when you want to talk about what is skateboarding and who understands it and who doesn't, I would say that while the current generation of skaters still exists with influence in the industry, then the question is, what is the dominant element of the culture? I can tell you right now, the Olympics, some people don't like it. Too bad. It is the dominant element in the culture. Pro skateboarding, skate videos, skate warehouses. These are the dominant elements of the skateboard industry. Gifted Hater doesn't understand this. The industry hates his guts. Steve Barrow, creator of the Barracks, famously called him out for just insulting and hating on people. There's a younger wave of skateboarders, if left to their own devices, will turn skateboarding into garbage. And that's him. Skateboarding is fun, exciting. It's an art. To some, it's a sport. It's release. It's relief. It's a fun thing to do. It's a dopamine release. It's fun. And for many, it's a sport. It's an Olympic sport. The older generation of skateboarders did not do their duty in helping teach young people how to be good, kind, and welcoming into skateboarding to help control the style of the industry. They tried, many failed. And what happens is, as the tide sinks, the trash and refuse becomes revealed. As the tide of great industry in skateboarding melts away, those who are able to sustain themselves leave to get other jobs. Pro skateboarders, Mikey Taylor, for instance, big fan. Well, he does real estate now. Skateboarding didn't last forever, he said. And he's a good dude. He's a smart dude. He's a Republican politician now in Thousand Oaks. I'm a big fan of this guy. He was a big inspiration for me growing up skating. And I'm still a big fan of his to this day. His business stuff, I'm even bigger fan now. I just wish he could have become a millionaire, not doing real estate, but in the skateboard industry that he knew and loved. But with the decline of industry, those who remain are the bottom feeders, the garbage at the bottom. What we need is to reinvigorate and bring that tide back in, which will then cover up the garbage, the people who don't understand what skateboarding is and only seek to be mean, nasty, and violent. And that's what's being exposed here. And that's the mission in this culture war. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's why this is important. They're going to mention that he plans to build a private club for fans who pay his $100 a month premium program, which he compares to the elite networking clubs like Soho House. Indeed, I do. Soho House is where, for I think, $30,000 to $50,000 a year, you can hang out, sit at a bar, and there's a CEO from one company, an executive in another company, and then they go, hey, I got an idea. And the other guy goes, done. And that's how they network so quickly and they can make tons of money. We need that for working class people. Pools expressed a desire to build a sort of conglomeration of businesses downtown that he bills as the anti-Times Square. Indeed, I have. Although I've said it won't be me, it will be the people who come to Martinsburg and start setting up these businesses. There is a diner for sale right now. Please, someone go buy it. It's the Blue and White Diner, Blue and White Grill, I think it's called, on sale right now, $600,000, ready to go, equipment, everything there, 3-story building. You could buy it today and be open tomorrow, figuratively. I was hoping Terrence Williams would buy it and turn it into Cousin T's Diner, but I don't see any movement happening, and I don't have the capacity to run 50 businesses. But to reignite Martinsburg, to expand this city, which is already expanding rapidly, and to make sure that the good people who live there with good values and believe in the family are the ones who succeed, that's the game we got to play. They said Poole had said he would host Saturday morning cartoon show at the coffee shop for children, possibly with guaranteed conservative cartoons created by fellow conservative pundit Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire website. Bent key, absolutely. I've not gotten permission from Daily Wire. I'm saying I would like to, once we open Saturday mornings, have a slew of Daily Wire programming because they're making family-friendly content that we know and trust for kids. And parents can bring their kids in, have a breakfast buffet, hang out at the coffee shop. Their kids can meet, they can meet. And that's how we build community. We got to bring it back. I said, Poole cast himself as a defender of conservative Martinsburg virtues, claiming that woke younger elements from D.C. and Frederick are infiltrating the town in search of cheaper rents. This is a fact, prompting local concerns that they're bringing their politics of degeneracy with them. This is a fact. The long-standing businesses have come to us for help. Several of them have already pledged resources to make sure that we win this one. I'm not going to name any specific businesses, but let me just say we're friends with a lot of the businesses as we're working downtown, and they're hoping for one thing. They don't want degeneracy. They don't want children on stage at drag shows. They just want to be able to live, work in peace, protect their friends and their families and their livelihoods. They want their businesses to succeed, and so do I. And they're saying, help us deal with the crime. Help us build this place up. My small store will thrive when you get other businesses to come in. It's great for everybody, and it's what we hope and dream of. So hopefully. They all say Poole has made other forays into West Virginia skateboarding. Poole lives just outside of Martinsburg and built a private skate park called Boonies HQ in the same county. Poole's money looms large at the Boonies. In April, he hosted a bustling skate contest, offering a $10,000 prize to whoever could drop in an 11-foot drop. It's a 16-foot drop with 11 feet of vert, good sir. One skater broke his femur in an attempt at the drop, and it was taken away in an ambulance. Indeed. Later, saying in an interview on one of Poole's YouTube channels, he probably faces a year of medical treatment and physical therapy before he can skate again. Poole gave him the $10,000 anyway. Indeed, I did. Shout out, dude. That was an amazing attempt. And I told him, I was like, you won the $10,000 man prize because, the other dude won $1,000 for his attempts, but he was unscathed, maybe a little bruised up. What little about Martinsburg Skatepark has changed, Amos said. Most skaters are staying away because they don't want to be associated with Poole or improve his property with more volunteer construction on ramps. Lies. It's a lie. I was skating there the other day. Mike was working on the quarter pipe. We've got photos. I mean, do I have to pull this photo up? I sent this photo to I sent these photos to him, to Will Summer. I posted on Instagram. I don't want to post too much because the purpose is obvious. Like, here's an improvement. Shout out to Mike. He's been working really hard to get all this done. Here's a series of photos where several people showed up to fix and improve everything. There's people in the photos, and they got yelled at by some of these people. Locals, plural, have been helping us to fix this. We're going to win. I've gone way too long on this segment. I don't even know if I care enough. But you know what? Every so often, I think I talk about this. It's important to talk about. Most of the stuff that we do is not about me. When I talk on these segments, it's usually news. But we've got to win the culture war. So shout out. I think the story is actually not that bad from Will Summer. I wouldn't call it a hit piece. He pointed out that for political reasons, these people wouldn't let us in, but did let in leftists. So even if it's not them, they welcome the left and they push out us. And we're moderates. They call us right, whatever. He also writes that I gave a dude 10 grand even though he didn't win the contest because he injured himself. We're helping to cover his costs, and they were very grateful for it. And I'm like, I wouldn't trade a broken femur for 10 grand any day of the week, bro. You deserve it. And then they say this, after Tim Pool bought it, what's the point, Amos said? You don't want to go there because who knows what he could do. After a year of only repairs being done, what could I have done? This is what they do. They say, we're not political. He's political, but he can't come because of his politics. They're telling people that I banned gay people. Well, Will Summer pointed that I didn't. And there you have it. I'm actually glad Will wrote this piece. I think it's actually well done. He did the best that he could without being directly involved. He only interviewed one guy who doesn't skate there, which is kind of weird. And then someone wrote, Tim Pool can't slappy. It's just silly, garbled nonsense. What they try to do is attack and try and push you up, but it ain't going to work. Because I hate to break it to you guys. Let me give this shout out to Gifted Hater, who doesn't understand skateboarding. What he has on YouTube is that people find him to be talented, funny, and they like watching his videos. I know how that is. It doesn't mean he's right, but I respect it. But when it comes to skateboarding, I can tell you this. Dude has been a massive boon for us, and I appreciate it. That's why I'm willing to say his name. Others have said, Tim, don't give him airtime. No, understand this. He made 2 videos about me, and the skateboard industry at the highest levels despise this man. I'm not here to say that I despise him or whatever. I'm saying he made videos about me. I'll criticize him for the negativity he brings to the sport, for the comments that I receive of people being mean and nasty, to the slap forums as well. But I'd like you all to understand this. The messages I received from the highest levels of industry, from the biggest sporting events and the biggest companies in skateboarding, because of this guy, has been great for us. So when they make videos and they say, you should work with him, and I'll tell you this. He made a video about me. He wants to come here. He wants me to fly him out. He wants to do a bunch of things. It's never going to happen because the industry hates his guts. He's made himself the pariah of the industry by being this constant negative force. It's toxic. Who is it? Huberman, podcaster, is also a skateboarder, called this out saying skateboarders are toxic. Several pro skateboarders have quit saying skateboarders are nasty. And that's who he represents. When he made these videos about me, I received several pro skateboarders messaging me. At the highest level of industries, we will be doing podcasts with them who are sick of the hatred, these hate mongers who ruin skateboarding. And so, well, herein lies the problem, Gifted. You can't come here because we will not entertain vile hatred and toxicity as a path to coming to our spot where we want to have fun. We will not introduce your hatred into our channels when we're producing fun content. We don't want that here. We want to make sure every young person recognizes if you want to be a nasty, mean person who excludes people and hates them, then go do it somewhere else. We're not interested. But I'll also tell you this. The people reaching out to us have expressed to us that you are the problem and you're hurting sales. You are hurting growth. You are, and what do sales represent? New kids skateboarding. They're trying to get kids to skate. They want to build industry. They want to get more pro skateboarders. They need to sell products. They need to convince mom to buy a new skateboard for their kid. They can't because you represent the industry right now too much. Or I should say the youth on YouTube. People know you and you drive them away. The industry has waned to that point. It's sad. We're going to push back. I'm going to leave it there. I do got one more segment coming up for you for 6 p.m. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, and we will be back with another segment at 6.